all so excited we forget to hand out the prizes sometimes. The next award recognizes service to community by a television broadcaster, and this year's recipient demonstrates a deep commitment to helping those who suffer and giving those people a voice. And I think that's a big part of the reason why, because this broadcaster just knows who it is. Walk into the headquarters of Capital Broadcasting in Raleigh, and the first thing you see in that building is their mission statement. And it is service to community in that statement that is very prominently featured, so it's no surprise that they are tonight our honorees. Here to present is Congressman Dave Price. He represents North Carolina's 4th Congressional District. I actually was hoping to be here, but he's got a prior commitment. He does send his regrets for not being able to be here, and he asked us to present a letter of congratulations. However, we're live broadcasters here, and so we've always got a backup plan, and what a great backup plan we have. Senators Richard Burr and Tom Tillis are here to present the honor, so please join me in welcoming them to our stage tonight.
Thank you, Deborah. This year's Service to Community Television Award goes to Capital Broadcasting Company in Raleigh, North Carolina, for its effort to help victims of domestic abuse and to raise awareness of this issue. In 2014, Capital Broadcasting's Domestic Violence Initiative, called Enough North Carolina, brought this issue to light with outreach messages, including public service announcements and bilingual internet display ads targeted to women statewide on its digital platform. A grant from the Governor's Crime Commission, along with financial support from the private sector, fully launched the mission across the state. Capital Broadcasting launched the campaign in June with a panelist discussion at WRAL Fox 50 TV studio. This event was open to the public and streamed live on WRAL.com. The event successfully created conversation, generated awareness, engaged the community, and kickstarted the campaign. Throughout the year, Capital Broadcasting sustained the campaign, raising awareness of this important issue every way it could.
In October, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, Fox 50 and WRAL continue to run PSAs and had a special section in the WRAL North Carolina Fair booth just for the Enough NC campaign. More than 2,000 business cards with the Enough website and the National Domestic Violence Hotline number were disseminated during the state fair, and donations were collected for all of the campaign's partners. The campaign brought together nonprofits, local government, organizations, and agencies committed to the issue. Dana Mangum, the executive director of the North Carolina Coalition Against Domestic Violence, said, "Enough NC has touched so many lives in North Carolina. The coalition received feedback from domestic violence service providers on the effectiveness of the campaign. Phone calls and overall traffic for service providers dramatically increased in 2014, and the campaign played a direct part in this increase. Not only did the initiative impact victims and those who helped them, but it provided a more cohesive joint effort for our state." And my friend, the North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory, added, "Capital Broadcasting is an outstanding leader in our community. The impact of this awareness and prevention campaign will be seen for years to come in North Carolina." Now let's learn a little bit more about Enough NC.
1 in 4 women. I mean, that's a pretty powerful statistic. Someone you know is impacted by domestic violence.
Meet Capital Broadcasting employee Elizabeth Klein, who channeled her personal experience into a movement to bring help and hope to other survivors.
From the outside looking in, my family looked picture perfect. Behind closed doors, it was a much different story. My mother was physically, financially, and verbally abused for 9 years.
Capital Broadcasting found inspiration in Elizabeth's story and created the domestic violence initiative called Enough NC.
We created this task force, and it was built from agencies and local government partners that were already working on this issue. There were 14 organizations that got involved right off the bat.
As part of the project, Fox 50 launched enoughnc.org, a website connecting survivors to resources. PSAs blanketed Capitol Broadcasting television and radio stations in the Raleigh and Wilmington markets.
1 in 4 women will experience abuse
in their relationships,
in their homes,
in their communities.
In September of 2014, this video of Baltimore Ravens player Ray Rice brought the issue of domestic violence into the national spotlight. Just a few days later, WRAL was scheduled to air the premiere of Thursday Night NFL on CBS, featuring the Baltimore Ravens.
We made the decision to carve out 2.5 minutes of paid inventory in what we believe to be a highly rated game. Devote that time and attention to domestic violence. I don't know if there's another station in America that does that.
Throughout the year, WRAL continued to put the local spotlight on abuse. They hosted a 3-hour phone bank to connect abuse victims with trained local volunteers. Experts answered nearly 400 calls from people across 8 states. WRAL's documentary unit produced Enough is Enough, a half-hour program that aired across all 3 of the company stations. Overall, the company aired over 2,000 spots and delivered close to 4 million website impressions at a cost of over $400,000.
The impact has been just tremendous and probably 100-fold compared to what we could have done on our own. But with Capitol Broadcasting, we were able to use their television and radio resources that reach so many other people. What they've done has escalated the conversation with domestic violence.
Capitol Broadcasting took the experience of one of their own and used it to energize their company and their community, to powerfully stand up against domestic violence.
This was a way for me to turn so many wrongs that I witnessed in my childhood into a right. It was a way for me to reach victims of domestic violence who may have lost hope, to let them know that it is time to say enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Stephen Hamill, Vice President, General Manager of WRAL and WRAZ-TV, and Elizabeth Klein, WRAZ Account Executive.
We're truly honored. At a company like Capitol Broadcasting, the next big idea can come from anywhere. Our president, Jim Goodman, has come up with his share. Every now and then I have one. But tonight we would not be here if it were not for Liz Klein from Fox 50, WRAZ.
The Enough campaign has seen great success thanks to the hard work of our community partners and my colleagues at Capitol Broadcasting. I'd like to thank our Enough team for their passion, expertise, and for believing in the cause that is so personal to me. I'd like to thank my mom, Molly, for being the strong, independent woman who inspired me and molded me into who I am today. I dedicate this to you. Thank you. And I say to you here tonight, it is our duty to use what we have at our fingertips for the greater good of the communities that we serve. I challenge each of you to take your greatest weakness and use that broken part of you to create something wonderful and meaningful. Yes, there is still good in the world, and it's inside of each of you. Don't be afraid to let your light shine through. Thank you for this tremendous honor.